This is one of Cluny the Scourge's Rome Total War online battles, this time in the Barbarian Invasion expansion. This is an unusual battle in that I'm commanding an army composed entirely of virgins. Lovely, nubile, voluptuous, young, female virgins. Sarmatian ones, that is. It's a CWB battle, and so I've taken 6 units of virgin foot archers, 2 units of virgin horse archers, and 6 units of virgin light cavalry. That's these ladies here, who I've heavily upgraded with weapon, armor, and experience modifications. Naturally, even in an army comprised entirely of women, they accede that leadership must remain with a man, and there he is, the male general, the only man on my side of this battle. And what did he do to have a grand total of 912 of these lovely creatures at his command? My opponent, playing as the Eastern Roman Empire, is Jacques, and he's taken 6 Eastern Archers, 6 First Cohort Comitatensi Late Legionaries, 2 units of Cataphracts, and 1 unit of Imperial Household Bodyguard in the centre there. That's the General's unit. His archers are superior in quality to mine. We both have long-range missiles, however he has better attack and better armour. However, he's deployed 4 of his 6 archers behind the main line. And if I can concentrate all of my archers against the front 2, while occupying the attention of the other archers with my cavalry, I will be able to win the missile duel, unless he redeploys. It looks kind of like some kind of sexy athletics competition there, as my archers run into position. My light archers sweep out in their matching yellow tank tops, supporting their proud barbarian bosoms. I sense some inner confusion from my troops. Sarmatian Virgins fight to prove themselves in combat so they can have a husband. These women want men, and at the same time, they want to kill them. So, I send in my horse archers on the left, at first to occupy the attention of the enemy bowmen, and then I notice that his archers are exposed, and I make a strike against them. Far too early a strike. Eastern archers are tough, and those are just horse archers, and there are only 2 of them in the face of an entire Eastern Roman army. They rout, affected by the concerned by number of enemy effect. However, they are going to regroup, and I will have the use of them later on. Now, the Eastern archers have been badly thinned down in the front rank, as you can see. My strategy there is beginning to work, and I'm moving on to target the rear Eastern archers. My opponent still hasn't moved his infantry to better protect his archers on the flanks there, so now I move in all of my light cavalry to make menacing movements against the enemy's right, my left, and also chew up as many archers as I can. And he responds with 1 unit of his cataphracts to warn me off, which is strange. He really should be thinking about massing his cavalry. Those light cavalry virgins are all of my striking horse. At this point, there's really no reason at all for him not to mass his 3 cavalry units, 2 super heavies and a heavy with 2 hit points each, to attack and destroy my light cavalry at once, or else to use them against my now unprotected archers. Admittedly, those virgin foot archers are in front of a tree line, and he might be concerned that I still have hidden soldiers. After all, he's seen relatively few troops yet, and perhaps he hasn't realized that I've heavily upgraded my light cavalry, using up all of my remaining denarii. I return, and once again he sends his cataphracts in, a single unit, isolated from his army, facing 6 full units of light cavalry. They are overwhelmed by the concerned by number of enemy effect, and they rout instantly, and I destroy them. With his archers newly exposed, I chew up as many of them as I can, with repeated to and fro motions. He finally sends in the rest of his cavalry, and with, if I may say so myself, some very deft manoeuvres with my cavalry units, I achieve a complete envelopment of his cataphracts. I also summon 1 unit of the newly regrouped virgin horse archers over from the other side of the map. They're swinging around to help me complete the final envelopment of the enemy's general unit. Now at this point he really should be rushing his infantry in, who are quite near to hand, to support his cavalry. In a melee, light cavalry against a first cohort comitatensi would be smashed. Here's that unit of horse archers who I use swinging around and complete the encirclement. His general is now going to die. He does send one unit of infantry, but instead of rushing them in to save his general, he pauses them and wastes time using up their javelins. I'm sure that his general died happy, sandwiched in as he was by all that female flesh. But my light cavalry, who do after all have the fast-moving unit trait, I can rush out of the engagement to safety. Now all this time the archery engagement has been continuing. Most of the Eastern Roman archers have now been destroyed between the cavalry and my missiles. I'm now raining death down upon his infantry. Now each of these is a first cohort unit. Their legionary standards are inspiring themselves and each other, bolstering their morale. However, with massed fire from 6 separate units, all with the gold weapon upgrade, I can still inflict quite a few casualties. And now that the enemy have thrown away all of their cavalry, they have no means to ride down those archers. There's my general, with his last few remaining fanatically loyal virgins all about him in the general's unit, but the rest of those light cavalry units are in better shape. What a complete pimp that general is. I admire him. And here you see me finishing off his archers from the rear. My many servile virgins urging on their mounts, urgently, mounted on them, astride them, as you might say. Here, on the other side of the battlefield, he futilely sends one unit of his infantry chasing after my foot archers. He wouldn't be able to catch even conventional archers, but virgin foot archers have the fast-moving unit trait. And as you saw just a moment ago, I've deployed my horse archers on the flank there to pour arrows in from one side. This unit, separated so far from the main body, is now doomed. And I use flame arrows to add a frightened by fire attack effect to tip them over into a full-scale rout. That's one unit destroyed. The battle now proceeds as I surround the enemy and wear them down with continual missile fire, whittling at their morale. Here we have another of his infantry units that he's allowed to become separated from the main body. He tries to save them from the same punishment that I dealt out to the other, turns them around and rushes back, but of course as soon as he does so his rear is exposed to my missiles, which bypass their shield protection, and they cut that unit down to just a few men left by the time it reaches the main body. So what should my opponent have done in this battle? He should have deployed all of his archers within range of mine. He should have protected his archers better with his infantry deployments, instead of leaving his infantry in battle line as though we were about to fight foot to foot. He should have either massed his cavalry against mine or else sent his horsemen to destroy my archers, causing me to rush my cavalry in to help protect them so that he could fix my light cavalry in place and then follow up with his infantry hot on their heels. After a long pause in which I leave my troops standing to recover their fatigue levels, which I've edited out, I send everything I have, after using up all of my ammunition, to attack the enemy hand to hand. All of my foot archers, my horse archers, my light cavalry. I concentrate on the most badly damaged units first, so that they will rout and the others will follow their example, their morale affected by seeing their comrades running. I mass overwhelming numbers against each unit individually to achieve a concerned by number of enemy morale effect, and with their general dead and with their morale having been gradually worn down by missiles, they break. So, having proven themselves in battle and shown that they don't need men around, they get the men that they want. It's like some sort of cheesy Hollywood chick flick. If they took any Eastern Roman prisoners, who knows what they did to them? Who knows? They're probably glad they lost.